This is the moment you've all been waiting for, where I'm going to sound check with my guitar rig. So I'm recording on the MacBook at the moment. I use Guitar Rig Pro for amp modeling. I don't actually haven't carried an amp for a long time, because the impulse responses, you know what, they're pretty accurate these days. So that's how I like to do things. So I'm going to start with a basic model, a very basic model. I'll get rid of the compressor of an AC30, Vox AC30 or AC box model with a 2x12 style. And let me unmute that so you can hear what it sounds like. Pretty clean. That's the bridge pickup up to the neck. I might just cut the brilliance channel volume down a little on that, clean it up a little more, make it sort of more or less pretty clean, so when I plug in the Overdrive, the Sausage Factory board, you'll hear it more transparently. So that's pretty typical of a clean combo amp. So what I'm going to do now is plug my guitar into the output of the Sausage Factory, and there we've got both sides of that. Now I'm not sure why, but I think it's to do with the way I've wired up these switches. These ribbon cables don't have the best connectivity, so I might have to jiggle with them a little. But again, just completely bypass, so all the LEDs off. Signal's just going straight through. There's the overdrive. Let me dial the tone stack to be flat, and all the controls flat. So it's kind of bright with the Vox model there. Let me crank up the normal channel. And first thing I noticed with this board for design review is that the volume control is reversed because I put the pot in the wrong way around. So that's something I'm going to fix on the next revision. Got a maximum volume. The other thing I noticed is that the effect volume is actually, even at full volume, is actually a bit less. So the overall buffering gain is a little too low. So I'm going to increase the gain of the output buffer in this. Let's turn the distortion up there. Got a little more of the mids through and a little less of that harsh highs. So that's with a Vox model and just the overdrive. Now let's see if I can get the EQ section to work. I'll turn the overdrive off, EQ on. I don't know why. Let me check the connections here. There it is. So the EQ is working now. So it's all flat. Now let's, so this is 84 Hertz. So it adds a lot more low end, which is exactly what I wanted. This is the 240 Hertz. That adds quite a bit of mud. Now I'm going to turn the levels down again now because I'm overdriving the Zoom recorder. So if you want a really farty sort of fuzzy sound, that might be a way of going for it. Bear in mind, I'm only using the EQ right now. The overdrive section is bypassed. Just the EQ is enabled. So something else we can do with an amp model like a Vox is boost some of the mids to get a bit more natural overdrive. That's the 400 hertz. That's 1K or 1.2K. This is a 2K, 2.4K. So that adds some presence. This is 4K, adds a bit of presence. Okay, now let's flatten those up. And I'm going to enable the overdrive. The neck pickup sound, single coil. So it's not quite as heavy as I was hoping for. I need to increase the gain a bit. So I'm going to tweak that. Now let's try it. You can hear it's a bit noisy there. Again, not in an enclosure, so no shielding or anything. So what I'm going to do now is change to a different amp model and go for something more like what I would traditionally call my kind of amp, which would be something like a high watt, which can be overdriven a bit more. So again, here's a clean high watt tone. Let me bypass these so you can hear what the amp model sounds like on its own. Crank up normal a little more. So that's just with the EQ. And here's the overdrive. Sounds kind of saturated there. Let me pull it back a little and boost the mids and bass. I think there's a compressor in there. I'm going to turn the compressor off because that's masking. Okay, let's try just the EQ again. What the heck? Okay, definitely an electronics design problem there I've got to figure out. Well, I'm overdriving, so let me turn those inputs down. Okay, now, what's it sound like boosting those EQ frequencies with the amp cranked a bit? Not bad. For the traditional metal tone is scooped mids, boosted bass. So overall, It's okay. It's not where I want it to be, but I know the PCB design works, and there's a few things I'm going to change to make it better. And yeah, then hopefully I'll have a viable, nice high gain distortion / overdrive with built-in graphic EQ. So that's the update on the Sausage Factory project done in Upverter. Over and out.